What's up, comic book fans? My name is Bruce Moreau and welcome back to the channel. And yes, I'm in a new space. So I recorded this video last night and I was reviewing the footage on my way into work and I realized I forgot to turn on the microphone. So there was no audio. So good thing I brought my camera in today because I'm gonna record it before I get work started. So what is this video gonna be about? Just like in my last video, I promised you I would bring you my review of Shazam, and that's what this is. So what did I think of Shazam? Well, let's talk about the good bits first. First, the story is excellent. It's a great origin story for both Shazam and the main villain, Dr. Thaddeus Savannah, played by Mark Strong. Yeah, it's just a wonderful story. It's also the first, I shouldn't say the first, but it is a great family story, which not a lot of superhero movies do. It's a really strong family story. It's what it's focused on. It's not focused on some big world-ending event. It's actually focused just on family, which was really great to see. Sorry, I'm just looking at my notes that I wrote on the train to make sure I hit all the points that I wanted to. It's also great to see that the director and the writers stayed really close to the source material. A lot of the story was actually taken from what I believe is the Jeff Johns 2012 run, and I know Jeff Johns was part of the writing team during their first draft, so it's really good to see them stick close to the source material. I also loved all the Easter eggs that I saw throughout the whole entire movie for both the larger DCU as well as the Shazam universe. The casting was fantastic, guys. I can't even believe how awesome the casting was. I'll have some pictures of both the characters from the comic book and their live action counterparts. They're so close to what they were done in the comic books, and it was so cool to see that. Yeah, and the acting was great throughout the whole entire movie. The children actors crushed it. They did such an amazing job. I also loved the foster parents. They were so good. They were cast so well. And also, I loved the house. Whoever was the scouting location or art director for the foster parents' house did such an amazing job. It really sold through that these foster parents were giving all that they had to the kids, and they weren't worried about what their house looked like, and they were just so focused on the kids, and that was just such a great part of the film for me. Zachary Levi shined in this role as Shazam. If you guys don't know, Shazam, or when Billy Batson turns into Shazam, he turns from a 14-year-old boy. He's still a 14-year-old boy, but he's in an adult body with superhero powers, and that the idea of this adult but still being a 14-year-old boy totally shines through in Zachary Levi's performance. It is such a good, he did such a good job. The comedy of the film was another strong portion of the film. I mean, we've had comedy superhero films before, in Daredevil and other in Ant-Man and stuff like that, but this is just like it was a much more wholesome comedy. It wasn't like rude or grotesque, or it was just really, it was a really great way for comedy to be done, and like not being over the top or anything. It was just wholesome comedy, which was great to see. It's also good for kids. The pacing of the film was fantastic. And at no point did I feel like the film was dragging at any point. It was just had a really nice pacing. It gave the right amount of time to all the elements of the story. And yeah, and another thing, I'm sorry, just looking at my notes again, but they didn't waste a lot of time on big fight sequences that didn't really move the story along. They spent all that time within the story and giving you all the elements that you needed to have all the big moments in the story hit hard. And there were moments in the film where I was tearing up because it was heart-wrenching, and it was great. It was really good to see. Yeah, and also giving those moments to the story and not the big action sequences made the action sequences that were in the film hit home even harder. Like there's this one scene where Billy, you see him jump off, you see this in the trailer, he jumps off the roof of a building and says Shazam, and he turns into Shazam and flies away. That moment hit home so hard in the film, even though we saw it in the trailer, but it still hit hard in the film, and that was just great to see. Yeah, and this next note, I wasn't sure if this was a positive or a negative, but after thinking about it, I saw the movie on Sunday, and today is Tuesday morning, and I was able to take a few days and like think about this. And so this movie, I feel, is definitely targeted to a young adult audience, and this is, I think, something new for definitely DC. And also, I think most of the Marvel films are targeted to more an adult audience, a male 25 to 50-year-old audience, because that's what the main comic book collector audience is. But this definitely has a feel of being targeted to young boys and girls in their 8, 9, 10, 12, 13-year-old audience, which is, I think, great to see, because that is the next audience who is going to be out there interested in these characters and going to the comic book stores and picking these comic books up. And it's awesome to see that DC is taking the chance that they don't need to tell this adult story. They can tell a story for young adults, but also it still rang home to me. It was still such an amazing movie, and I enjoyed it so much. Yeah, so it was great to see that they took a chance, and I think they really hit home with that. So I only really have one not so good thing to say. I called it the not so good bits, and that was the graphics. I wasn't really on board. I didn't really love the graphics of this film. There were a few moments when you could really tell that Zachary Levi or Mark Strong was, definitely either fully CGI and composited into the scene, or they were on wires, flying on green screen and then composited in. It just didn't really, some of those moments just kind of definitely stuck out to me. And then I also didn't really love the design and the animation of the 7 deadly sins. But, also on that point is, since I do think that this was really targeted to a young adult audience, I can totally see why they went with those designs and why they decided to, keep them 3D and not, put actors in, big scary costumes, because, I think that would have been, made it more of an adult film and not so much a young adult film. And yeah, my final thoughts on this is that this was a home run for DC, and also a home run for superhero movies altogether. This was such a great film. I actually went to go see this film with my girlfriend's 9-year-old son, Nate, and he loved this film. Oh my God, he was up on the edge of his seat the whole entire time, during laughing so loud and all the funny parts and the big action scenes. He was pumping his fist and going nuts. It was so fun to see this little boy just loving the film. And there was also another little boy that was 2 seats down from him, and he was going insane, and they started talking halfway through the film about how good it was. It is such a good film. If you have a young son or young daughter, take them to see this film. If you love Shazam, go see this film. I promise you guys are gonna love it. And this is definitely DC's best film by far. It's leaps and bounds above Wonder Woman, and it's better than Aquaman. Aquaman was awesome. I would, if I reviewed that movie now, I'd definitely have some criticisms, a lot more criticisms about that. But yeah, this is even better than a bunch of the Marvel stuff, in my opinion. It was just such a fun, heartwarming family story that, I don't know, it rung home to me, and it was such a good film. All right, before I wrap this video up, I do want to thank anyone and everyone who's watched my last 2 videos. Thank you guys for all the support. I'm really excited to be on this journey and creating these videos for you guys. And that said, if you guys did like this content, make sure you smash that like button. And if you want to see more videos and be notified when I upload, make sure you hit that subscribe button with the little bell notification, and you guys will be alerted. All right, guys, that's all for this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.